Chips. Hi everyone, he's Bagdan from Chip Studios. Today we are wrapping up the props for our scene in the Halloween series, and those are gonna be a banger, so let's get on with it. Alright, so here we are back in Blender. Let's see, today we wanna finish this stone formation, and we also gotta create a place for the spell that our wizard will make. So let me first rename that, and I want to create a new collection. Let me just get that outside, and we want it into the environment collection. But first, I'll call this one stone formation. All right, let's get this inside, and we can go to work. So I want to create a cube. You won't believe it. I know we used a lot of cubes on this one. Let's go to wireframe mode, and right now I want to make it smaller as a starting point. I'm not gonna be able to work on the photo, so I'll just use that as a reference because I really like it. So let's go to edit mode and let's select the top ones. Want to scale those in a bit and drag them down. Extrude. We basically want to create a couple of pillars, and that shouldn't be so hard. That's really easy to do it by yourself. I'm just doing something really basic. I don't want to go into too much detail since they're just going to be there for reference. So let's get a line here and to the side, just to get a little more geometry, because I want to make the shape look uneven. So let's drag those around. Okay, and this one in, this one also paved, those two a bit. I tried to give it a look that it was somehow carved or maybe by the water, by the rain or something like that in time, not man-made, or maybe it was magic made, let's say. So let's select the top faces, and right now I want to give it a bit more height by extruding again, and this one should be the top. Let's go to solid and let's watch that. Looks a bit too uneven, so let's drag that in. It still should look like a pillar. And since we don't have too much geometry, we'll have to work with what we have. If you want, of course, you can add a subdivision surface modifier and you can add like that more detail to it. But I won't. Okay, let's drag those in also. I'll actually show you how I made the first one by detail, and then I'll probably jump a bit since I've lost quite a bit of time with those little adjustments I'm making right now. It's actually a matter of taste, so take it with a grain of salt, I guess. Let's drag this also in, or let's drag that out. Okay. I don't know, maybe you think I made a really ugly pillar and you want to do it by yourself. Let me select those and move them around a bit. All right. That looks kinda all right. And as you would follow, I just duplicate this one and try to rotate it a bit and change each vertex so that I get a different shape, but not so much different. They quite have to be the same size. So like I said, I'll make these two, and we also have to add a top one. All right, those two look pretty good. And let's make the third one, and let's rotate that around here and put it on top. There's no issue if you actually just drop it on the head of those two. All right, let's modify this one a bit. And since it's actually on top, you have to take care about the points that stick outside, since they should be smaller than usual. You don't really have a base for this one from the top. Okay. That looks like a stone formation. Oh, this side doesn't look that well. Okay, maybe drag that a bit. I think I could make this one a bit larger. Give it a better footing. And let me select all of those and drag them a bit out so that I can see from perspective where each would fit. All right. That looks pretty good. Let's press Union like we did for the bushes. And now, like I said, I'll see you in a couple of seconds after I make a couple of those. Alright, and we're back. We created 5 of those, slightly different. And right now I want to set the origin, like for each of those. So let's go to set origin and origin to geometry, so that we center the origin for those. Let's press Union and again, origin to geometry, and we have to do that for all of these. I don't have to use my powers this time since it's not that long of a process, so just bear with me. But hey, practice makes perfect, I guess, right? Okay, that one also. Origin to geometry, and the last one. Union. And yep, we are done with those. That looks quite good. Let's apply the rotation and scale. And we actually have a bit of an issue because when I thought about this layout, I actually thought we'd have a path that would be leading to this circle and would be like a broken circle, and inside we're gonna have another element. So I have to open this up a bit so that we create a path to the outside. I know I could always make a path like through one pillar, like let's say between them, but I don't want to do that. I want it to be like a ritual site kind of. So let's drag those here, and maybe this one a bit different. Right now it would be more like an oval shape inside instead of a circle. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we have to fill that, right? Let me just readjust those a bit. Spacing between them is wrong right now. Okay, and this one also a bit. And we're good. Now I want to create, let's see, a torus. I think I'll go for a torus. So like the big donut, like I think everybody calls it actually. I don't think I ever heard anybody call a torus. Alright, so actually I want to rename those first. But let me just parent them to a single one. Okay, we can do that here, and this will be stone formation, or well, stones. I'll go for stones. Okay, let's go to front mode, and I want to make those not visible, so we have to select all of them, because I want to work on this one right now. Let me just squash that a bit, and this would be like the ritual ground. So we'll be working with this torus, and inside of it we'll have a cauldron. Let me just make one again, and I want to get some segments out. I want to make it as few as possible, so about 8. And for the minor ones, we could go for 8 yet again. And I want to drag this here, and yeah, right now we have the low poly look, because the other one was looking like really polished, and I don't want that look. I want it to be seen as being made out of stone and not like polished one. All right, that's a nice look. So we'll be having some symbols or maybe some small formations along the torus. And inside of it, like I said, there will be a cauldron where our witch will be making his unusual spell. That's a part of the story. So let me select those inside edges and I want to fill that in and then insert that and drag that down, insert again, and let's go for something like that. I thought about adding a fire to the cauldron, but I actually decided not to because we have so many details already and I don't want them to be lost. And now I want to add a cylinder and now it has only 6 vertices. That would be enough. Let's make it really small. And like I said, we'll be having some formations that would be added right here to the circle. So I think I'll go for a cylinder that will modify a bit. And then we'll make a couple of those that will be adding around the ritual formation. Let me get that around here and want to get it inside here and rotate it to be like I want that middle edge to be around the middle of the cylinder. And I'll be doing the same. I think I'll do one cylinder for each pair of faces. So let me insert that in and extrude down. Or let's actually go to extrude up. And I want to scale that in. And this will be a gem, just like the one we have on the wizard stuff. So they will be connected. All right, and now we want to duplicate this one and make it like that for all the pair of faces on this torus. So bear with me for a couple of seconds. All right, now we are done with those and let me just select all of them. And I want to apply the rotation and the scale for all of those. Now it's actually looking pretty good already. So I want to select all of those and I want to parent them, the ritual site, the torus. So this one would be the ritual site itself, and let me just take a look to see how it looks together with the stone formation. All right, let me rename it. It would be ritual site. Okay. So I want right now to focus on the cauldron. So the cauldron has to look like the cemetery, kinda, and also has to be themed with the stone formation and the ritual site altogether. So we'll keep it low polygon as possible. I chose an icosphere this time since I want it to be round. Let me select this vertex and proportional editing. Get that almost flat. And the top side, we have to work with that also. But I think for the top side, I'll do something else. So let me just get a bit closer to it. And I want to get into edit mode with faces. I want to select the top faces. Not that one also. This one. And let's go and deal the faces. All right. Let's select the outer edge. And I think I'll take the other row as well. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Oops, sorry, not again. So we go to top side and we have right now these edges and I want to scale them up, be about here. And right now we already have the shape for a cauldron. Maybe drag those in a tiny bit. And after scaling them, I want to get this over and I want to extrude insert those in. Sorry, extrude them in. and I want to extrude them down also. So we create some sort of double for the edge, and then we want to fill that in and drag that down. So this would be like the containment from the cauldron. So we'll be having a potion brewing down here. All right, and I want to select those faces and the opposite ones, and I want to inset both of those and scale those on the x-axis. That's all right. And right now I want to get those as the handles for the cauldron. We won't be using them, but I just want to get the shape done. Put those out around here. And we have a cauldron. Yay! That's a really fast way to do a low poly cauldron, and a lazy way, for that matter. Let's select this edge and drag that a bit in more. So it looks like, right, it looks like we have a thick cauldron. Right, let's scale that a bit, and we want right now to add it to the ritual site and to the stone formation. So let's call that Cauldron. Let's go to top mode and drag that here. And I think it's too big. Let's see, drag that down to around here. Let's go to top. And yeah, it's a bit too big right now. Let me just rotate that, since our witch will be coming from the opening in the stone formation. We want to plan that out. Let's apply the rotation and scale for the cauldron also. And if you take a look right now, we have this part of the layout ready. Okay, so let me just get the cauldron inside the stone formation. And I want to make that unselectable, and I don't want to see it anymore for now. So let's go and create a cylinder again. 6 vertices should suffice. So let's go to cemetery, and I want to select it since that is where it was created, since I had it selected. And let's make it smaller and take it to around here. Let's go to edit mode, wireframe. I want to select the bottom one, actually the top ones, and take it down. And right now, what we didn't make for the cemetery was actually dead trees. So like when you go to a cemetery and it has to be spooky, you'd be having dead trees or like wilted trees. And I want to create right now a really fast version for those. I don't want to create them from the actual lively trees. I want it to be more like a trunk, like a cut trunk. So let's see, let's duplicate just this part, and I want to rotate it. Now let's make it smaller and drag that in. All right. We can extrude that again and make it smaller. Give that a rotation and drag it here, and let's take a look at it. Let's go to solid, and it already looks like a dead tree, or like a trunk more. And don't forget, when you duplicate some parts of the object and you want them to be part of the same object in edit mode, just make sure that you're in edit mode. If not, they will be two separated objects and you'd have to group them together and press new union. All right, let me just get those details. All right. Okay. Let's call it wilted tree 1. Okay, so I want a bit of a variation for this wilted tree, so I'll just go on a bit ahead and play around with those, and I'll see you in a couple of seconds. And here we have all of our wilted trees. Let's apply the rotation and the scale for those. And those are actually the last assets that we wanted to create for today. And that's awesome. Alright, so that is it all for today. We are done with the props, and on the next tutorial we'll be working on the map itself. And thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you there. Bye.